Mame fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Yo abusha for me mamu akwaba edemo ba PENDREAM TV so me pacho ba pe bon modern say obe subscribe to the channel, like video na share to ho ma afoforo so enya bi enhwe abusha ene video bi na me pese me ne wo ye kum kakra ye owura Daniel Dumelovo, the former auditor general. Me can say ene omampanyini John Dramani Mahama, president elect, wa power no edina ka committee a or say omo enhwe ma oral and say nkrofo a omo hwe no ma make sure say loot bia ye kane aban no dia loot mine Ghana no omo emwaboa no na omo hwe na sa nkrofo ne emfo mfa emra kwan so papa yi enkomo twitwie bi ekoso ewo oni Captain Smart entem ewo Unua TV na abusia enkomo num nsem bebiri ekoso enkomo a etwam na nso so se utie enkomo na then you will see the danger ahead of the NPP. I'm telling you. Se utie enkomo yi mu a honorable said no afei na obeti ase die nti a NPP fo ho epopo die nti a omo ede nyoma bi gugu kwan mu a onkom benya nka 7th January offense swearing in of President Mahama Krampunka enyamba so nie nti a ebi mu preach for cool nie nti a ebi no mu hihya ase na nti ya yensa aka intelligence a ebi mu anya a eye concrete anase me kan say eye no kure kiremu a onkomo pese omo fa kwan bi so create some state of emergency bi na nkasa adwuma so no emma so sane be ya oman no yentumi enkoyenim na ombenya omo ho afa omo boni omadi no omatimi anya omutiri adidim abusua me pese udi machi na ye nyina ye kɔ na yekutie enkomo no said ye course ewo eye Captain Smart any owura Dumelovo entem wakakra na nso so ubenya abotre amamia wankasa you appreciate and love this conversation na ubehunu say NPP amanyuko no omo wasambo ne po se omampanyini Mahama eye na adwen say he will crack the whipper. I was ha a PENDREAM TV said me can no. Mesro say obape subscribe to the channel no. Who subscribe button na mesro say oba subscribe subscribe my na like video no so my eboa my video so no ekwa akiri ma afoforo so etumi enya bi ehwe. Abusia yenko tie enkomo no na yemra.
Daniel Dumelovo, former Auditor General. Akwaba.
Yeah.
You be able to call it. Me who one say a check.
I mean, campus is shared. Is happening.
Yes, is it at Lisa Hotel? Maybe.
No correct.
That was 2001.
Yeah, thereabout.
Yeah, 2001. And you share here. We are audit to be book Kasibi and about me about
2018. 2018.
That was 2018, rather.
2018.
Okay. Now, this year, now, maybe I will call. Mate Daniel Dumelovo, but me that Jim Misao, who actually you are. Tell me about yourself.
That's a really good school, not myself. Well, Penny, and say Daniel Dumelovo. When you be a friend from place?
I call
Utra for a person no grados.
Pantu Swapo. Akohoda.
Yes.
Campaign.
Okay, Coupon or a friend at Don't cook. Yes, you do one man. Basic 1.5 kilometers. Could be away from a DMR. Hona Obranesha Siame Kusuku Nasapo. na sa ekroketwa no ne di enye popular nso mpanyifo pa produce amanfo ni
Sir?
woni mo lawyer Kwame Jan
Land expert, no?
Lawyer. No, 1 year classmate. 1 year behind me.
Okay.
But the Bishop Crow free the same Adiamra. But before we call land economy, University of Ghana. Head no Dr. Kwamboati of the South Granasi. In the Caribbean, home of us opa. A friend and a friend side to us a middle school, 77 more a trainer. Me emergency metwaso me kaisa me ko pass say me ko pay admission me
pass
price second pass yes ni short year pass me ko so 5 years me say that me ni adaje a me be school 5 years me throw na me ba school bi ufri pass e ba kroma school ki to bi o her friend my Jan's Business College Commercial College.
Okay.
And I'm call her. Me di 1 year. Me say school. Me say enye me honye. Eni me free on bank koko. O free. Enko konko so na o tra. Enko secondary school. Eko krum lorry park bi ewo benkum so on. Kwan bi da nifa. Eko school bi afa me Mukoko Modern College of Commerce.
If I say Mukoko. Modern College of Commerce.
Mukoko. And so me call the 1 year. Me call so that we have so me whole sharing. And I'm a cook mase. Abu we do run about no. And so na school be a share our friend Gardens the Commercial College.
Oh,
Gadeko. Me call Gadeko. Me through her na me ba K Poly, Kumasi Polytechnic.
Hey.
And me ba be me even RSA stage 3 any O level.
Okay.
And me no 85. 87 na me samba Polytechnic na and I'm bebe to aso say me ICA, me accountant. And me start me share accountancy training na say. Me dey na me ponko pentemunti. No me be ha me for procedure.
We are in temtem.
Ndia mkaja mambo se me kokwa inche school. Ntanko me fa roadside.
Roadside.
Me ka say 78. No, that be 87, sorry. 87. Me enroll anche be say a year. Na oma di eni mo nkokoye on exams. Na me so maybe. I'm say now first year among for second year who so now first year who metro and I'm go through me go through exams go me late we got to the make a different place dim the call exams council results by best student award Ghana first year and me intern and I'm a register friends UPS certain friend IPS me say me twaso. So now me charge you Kumasi. About school and cry.
Hey!
Now I'm from a visiting student. You say only visiting lecturers.
Visiting lecturer, visiting student.
Now I'm from visiting student because weekend, me back Friday. I'm back copinos is never the call. Now me come Kumasi, me go try my training addition so. Weekend must have. You go try exam pass one lose me copy as no more feel. Just a copy good idea so really.
Wow.
Me desana nyamincha de me qualify in 1992. In 1992 na me qualify as a chartered accountant. 91 no ansana me qualify no here from ejum. Ini me be ade me course me go ejuma.
David.
Ghana Films here TV3
here.
Na my office Dana work kwa hono. First floor na hono na my office.
Hey.
Chris Hesse, Dr. Chris Hesse, any entry, Auntie, Victor Auntie, na for that time, your Ghana Films, and I'm more friendly TV training, but now me a staff of Accountant General. Until me, Juma Accountant General, could see 2009, and World Bank, you may be PM, you apply no more farming, and then me share Zimbabwe. Timi share Zimbabwe any Malawi na me support to Zambia na se force na 2016 ni appointed me as auditor general he appointed me so na they do krom na me tie road so am say eni azemuni If you say, Mama lose the election, I'll go for the young class in India, I said, dear, I didn't have banana for okay. Titzana and I don't know among appointments, I don't know a call back. And you may now my back holidays. And Tinami or return ticket. To me call airport, Nam them back in this summer said, Mina Kwana, I'm saying, wait to match a new ticket, change ticket.
Back to Zimbabwe.
Mankoba Zimbabwe called Malawi. Nam supported Zimbabwe in Malawi, and we call Malawi.
Oh.
And Tiomo Fremia, I can't know any.
And today, na Mahama Bo, this is a auditor general.
Yeah.
That day,
Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh, so what I heard was correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to get them because now no me no be my dream. No me no the guy say nearly can and say sebe. Now me use Mama Well Bank. And you first say on betting radio so say Makoye auditor general. Mra means resign. And you're professional. Ndine exameko. Ekokoji permission. Na me resign. Say jumazo. Unya ni tizedi. Why be say who pay free with them.
It's one name Mahama ndene hu.
There be. Enti o me catch there is Debra. Julius Debra. Yeah. To me catch and say exameko. Na emo mi go do one sana me friend no my friend Ogana. I mean say I buy say they see on no man. I tell you I can say stop no me man. To me go do one sana me friend say I send me G permission. Now me resign properly because now I was in charge of projects the Zimbabwe na se for. Enti me yes ano. Now me just say well bang be ka say obe hia be na otwe na say bosomi. Me do go say congratulations say your people need you and your call. This is I'm say okay me na say. Na ka no mano ba ko so me say ka just no man you. Second one so na madwumi am tanta kakra because nipa waluzu election na otwe na ukode. Meaning say constitutionally there or start to me. So the incoming administration can be very difficult. To be a bit maga say okay say your power now say who's be demanded town resources are the big man here farmer omu mi o ma no nka so a bedding enti me nim kwa mo fa so etie na mati opoku prempe so ni napo oh mi yonko pa no o frame bro mi so frame bro mi yonko napo minin di dada ye bisa no ansa no be minister na minim di dada Kufoa by Muna, Namo Cantanjana. No bummy office there almost every now and then. Musical Anam in the office or near Parliament House, or Sumo baby. Yamikono. And no friend, Miss Minia, Matizi, ya point to auditor general was away. And I say, me Junahona, mean to me who say, Moamu Bay, Munum Bay Jumana Siene, no so. You know, Bay Juman, I'm so you be so. And you know, we need presidency, no, Kufuado, and you know, so you are no kumasi. And you may not know or far play, no bar in crying.
And Napo. Wow.
Or some friend me and you may, and I do not know Malawi say, hold on for the president elect. No, the phone, no man, and Kufuado. And now Kufuado, I catch them and say, congratulations. You say, oh, wow, we need election, who will congratulate you, who not congratulations in there.
Eti Mahama Bo dina uja hoko Malawi no.
Yeah.
Ena na po frel.
Na
po fa flight fi Kumasi bank.
A bank.
Ena obe wananado enim.
Yes.
No de on only phone
man nanado. Tinanado ba so no ka share me say congratulations. Me say wozu kan na congratulations na ye de na me de. We win hwe. No so what say yes me go auditor general na. Me say me sheda enyintum. Wow. Because of Abia Omuba Ombeha na sefo nti. Na ohye me boss me nkonkonyi. Na we bisa na ne nkrofo kire ne say to use his words so say I'm told you can do the work with your eyes closed.
San nanado ka kire.
Nanado. Uno ka kire me nti.
His Excellency the President.
Yes. Then
that
the
president elect,
yes,
told you, I'm told
you can do this work with your eyes closed. So go and take it into some bar. And I say, when we come to office, we will sit down and see how we can work together. Because fighting corruption is very key on my agenda.
Okay.
Now, here can Nyamianim no kreni. yes, sir, into office. The following week, I am friend to a meeting. Some meeting na Napo Hobby. Asante Bedia to no Hobby. Na Ronaldo, me in four. Na a discussion or say that.
It is a say Mahama Bowudin, but Nana the swell in.
Debbie, Mama ne swell me in.
Okay,
Mama, because me somebody, me buy, say, me tea, say, a opinion, say, on him be man. And say, okay, and remember. Until me buy now, you swell me in. View. Debbie, okay. Yeah,
okay, what by the Mahama?
Appointment is different from swearing.
Okay.
And me jail letter any appointment.
Okay.
Now, Obeko office, I swear, say you want to take the position per provisions of the Constitution.
That's right.
In the year, and we are, and Council Oba office, and check. The following week, I'm a Framina. Ye shisha na ye normal tutu akwam ntina ye nyongo pa no be masem na musumi panasem because na minum say e obi a na ni abrese oba
fight corruption
exactly because me Malawi economic actually me grow for say give Ghana 4 years we will be above all African countries because you get chance if you hear the president elect some of his words. One, I'll protect the public purse. Two, okay.
I'll protect the public purse.
Two, if you want to make money, go to the private sector. This is nowhere. We don't make money in the public sector. Public service is what it should be. And three, family and friends. No.
Okay.
You say, this man will be very objective. And fourth one, Anna's principle.
Okay.
Now I was following Anna's, so you say, oh no. If somebody gives this undertaking, then I think he's serious. So I'm going to help. This is so kaya. The first reporter, me now who can disallow 5.4 billion. Yes. Oh, na Nyaje. Who kaya and also more pair. Go on the internet. State of the Nation Address 2018. He commended the Auditor General.
That's why I mentioned your name.
And Independence Address, 6 March 2018. Again, he mentioned that it can help him to do the free HS and do roads and whatnot, etc. And now, come on. Because Kai says Abreno. Now the audit was about the previous period, which is Mahama administration. Now we audit Mahama administration. Now, I told the museum, say, hey, say they were very edging away. So you do need them. The people said you were Hosana, but now me see Asia. Till call 2018, I cry now for the bullets in the starting bar, ni territory, so now I could overhide. And that is the journey, and on your main child, it drew 2020, or say, Ninko leave, na, a honor, and some baby. Now, when the name Supreme Court, a Safumafu case, Crew and Associate, name Supreme Court. Now, another one, Zoom Lion. Then no say very hot. Zoom Lions may say charging 411 million.
Hey.
Yes. Oh, yeah, Google. No.
Zoom Lion, yeah.
Zoom, yeah. I'm an appeal at the High Court. You know, lose case, no. You know, I'm now appeal at the Court of Appeal. I'm going Court of Appeal, no. Interestingly, they decide not to challenge the ruling, but challenge the original jurisdiction of the Auditor General. Say, Auditor General.
Ghana Frontier say. Then about what's the charge? Zoom Lion 411 million Ghana cedis.
Zoom Lion, no, in accordance with our audit process, no. Auditors who say year audit.
That's right.
And the information and as an interview, Brem say, who say district assemblies, no, together with the district assembly common fund, Zoom Lion car. Say on your fumigation exercise.
Okay.
Until Umetria says canon. Now, the same exercise has been paid also by National Health Insurance Authority. And just Umetria 2 times.
It's just paying for your country. National Health Insurance Authority. Etria Zoom Lion car.
Exactly.
As a binding so.
This is the assembly.
This is the assembly. So, Etria the car
twice.
Okay.
And I'm say okay. Here say the entire fine judgment as auditors. Yani evidence. And the baby show. And me commission audit.
Okay.
So audit no mu ye ni umbe to be able to frustrate that audit. We can Professor Duajimai. Aye, nenya some keto.
Professor Duajimai. Former Auditor General.
Former Auditor General, we should know better.
Frustrated you.
Papa me didn't hear papa.
Oh.
The frustration. At a point in time, grow friend me catch him say, or pese Yoko for a bed join in a audit. No, Mr. Yoko, any Auditor General there. So me bibina se me say it is criminally it has criminal implication. Now a bay here Yoko. Now they are come out, but they can be part of the audit.
That's right.
Yes. And and me too kind echo friends of Rwanda. Now me Kigali. And now one of my deputies, Ephraim, say, and go for now, moye audit no. Professor Duajimai, after all, so munya audit now, share in the office the following day.
Hey,
who say, hey,
Zoom Lion audit no.
Yes, and you Zoom Lion, National Health Insurance.
National Health Insurance.
Yes,
and it is
yes, near Persia share. What did they pay for? Until near National Health Insurance. I'm so boy. I say no credit. I'm say no credit. Write me an email. Because audit there, audit trade.
Okay.
Now, phone, Chinabaga Makacham said that be one until they show me email. You know, sending me email. You're sending me email. And I'm forward you call come on, open Zoom. The way. So I was here, no one saying anything. I made come out say, Prof. I said, me say, no clear. Tell me, that is not true. No, respond, yes, no clear. Now, one chief executive, I'm so a friend Dr. Yawano or something like that. Dr. Yawano.
Okay.
Yeah. So we feeding this, but it seems Dr. Yawano, something like that. Because Mikaya no power because me to know from Yawano. Abba Behon say the audit is going very badly into he should intervene. He say, now audit there. And when you see Omarezi observations, say Sikawi you also there is Canada has say here's the evidence. Now sir, assembly Nasam call. Into audit they call badly there anything. And we try to say you don't have that mandate. As a board chairman, you have no mandate for audits in the country. The board itself, Article 189 of the Constitution. It doesn't give the board any mandate on audit. It has no mandate, not even a supervisory mandate. It doesn't have.
Okay.
The board mandate is clearly stated over there. But we call 187. That mandate is for only the Auditor General. Into one Constitution can say Ghana Audit Service should audit Ghana. You see, the accounts of the central government, district, what not, etc., shall be audited by the Auditor General, not Audit Service. Into we call 188, which is the next one, and establish Ghana Audit Service. Okay. So there shall be Ghana Audit Service, which is part of the public service. Full stop. No mandate. But under the 187, which gives Auditor General some mandate, no. Clause 3, actually says he can appoint or delegate to other people to do the work on his behalf. And the audit service now is a tool or a mechanism that the Auditor General uses to do his work. And not only even the audit service, at times to even outsource it to the private auditors. So you can use audit service or this thing. And to me, I can say, oh, you're a former Auditor General. To me, Ben, which now from the staff will say, oh,
you called him?
Yes, no, I wrote it. It's written.
Oh, okay.
And and not throw memo to the board, the full board. Memo them will be me computers or crowd. Still. Or throw memo to the board to say he has received complaints from Yawano, who is the chief executive of Ghana Health Service. Say he should intervene in the audit. And when he tried, this is my response.
Intervene?
Yes.
Really?
And he attached the audit observations to it. And he said, audit observation is a very confidential document. And you are sharing it among the board members.
Do you still have a copy of that?
I can find it. Yes.
Look for it for me.
I can find it.
Look for it for me.
I decided because I was just about leaving to Ghana. and I'm bad. Tiadia Jam, go to man. We do the question, I mean, call for forgotten which TV station, either City or maybe Joy for one of them. And one friend say there is an audit report which is in the public domain about national health insurance. Now, I'm a discussion. And so, yeah, audit, I feel issue report to Kura. Audit process, no. Team, no, issue observations. When we are, then they bring it to the director or their head. Or no issue, what we call the draft audit report or management letter. After this act, you have the draft, no, you have 30 days to respond to the issues. And sana auditor general issue the report. You see, you got draft, you got me who in a band, send a copy of this. And I'm going to say, okay, to be sure that we are saying the same thing, no? What they have, they should send it to me. And to move forward, the say the memo which DIGMI had shared with the board, and Nona Akupi Abonteno, because it has all the attachment and everything, and even acknowledgement from the Ghana Health Service, because when they receive the audit observation, they acknowledge it. You know, I'm saying, oh, okay. Tiaba board, no, Manfam Wancha.
Board.
Make a bitch. God look, you cannot be acting illegally in front of me. The law of Ghana is supreme. It doesn't matter who you are. This law guides everybody. Mandate more to even question me about the audit I'm doing away. Now, as long as you don't have that mandate, I'm continuing.
Hey.
And the issue is not going to be discussed.
Hey.
Until you transfer.
Board transfer.
Oh, yeah, woman to be discussed. Because this issue is not for discussion. You can't discuss it.
Say a sick ira now, we should almost say.
Meaning, eventually, now I know easy. And she be able to say, now trying now to me. Satam now audit, draft audit report, now for the abedu maintain. Now, another name. And I'm go Kumasi. You go Kumasi for a certain occasion. Adanos mi fi akra ne ko e nti so rentem kakra mi du kuma se na kom de mi say na kom de mi ano papa say mi say yanko say conference Lancaster hotels there those days golden tulip yanko ho de omo buffet so I can just go and take something and eat then we go to the occasion we wura wa na mani bo madam Fruma or pare enim she was sitting there watching looking towards the door timini ni Asia no Mahama son.
Chief of staff.
Chief of staff, Madam.
Tell me the story.
No, so you part the open dinner, so who I just will. Me go there, he said, me put my meeting, so I will say, hey, prepare me open the he say, so he excused the people who were with us. I say, in Casa, Marty say, you are working against us. And say, no, so I said, just auntie, no, say, almost say audit be a national health insurance. No? Even though we say we started from 2012 to 2018, and so focus in just 2018. They just say you are looking at the current government, but not the previous. Let me see. Until winning, baby. Under the natural course of things, no. Me too, Kwaisana, Messan bad that day, no. Inka report inka mbeje fie ananze mbeja ankran me babaka but me kita report no me si free car mu kra no me si free car na me the report na to car no am say anhwe na me policeman ni me driver go kan report you
no sa fakuta
me ko fa report ne kita me na ekita am say report ya wo kan wan semanti eni me yan issue e afi kura na me go through na mum to prove the point no what they just the summary. Me the summary ni kake chiro. Until me the summary ni chiro me gaza. We see I'm targeting a particular regime. There are about 35 audit observations according to the summary. 35 of them. Only 4 relate to your regime.
Now we have
31
audit report.
The audit report covers 2012 to 2018. And in the course of the audit, they have raised 35 issues.
35 issues.
Yes.
Related to
the 2 years of your regime.
And a
31 related to
Mahama regime.
Mahama regime. The target also me targeting away. And on one or here no serious. Me grow why here on go in say. Cause you Juba.
Oh, the chief of staff can say cause
yeah, she didn't stop anything. I said yeah, cause now you Juba. And no ethical die and we audit no, and I thought I should surcharge some people because some payments were not right. First surcharge went to, for instance, Sly Mensa. If you can remember Sly Mensa, yes, the chief executive. So I surcharged him some amount. I surcharged Dr. Ano and Co some amount.
Okay.
And I surcharged Zoom Lion also for some amount.
So audit reports on National Health Insurance Authority and the District Assembly establish facts and say
exactly.
Zoom Lion for one job.
For the same service.
Okay.
And
not
total here about 180 something, close to 200
million Ghana cedis.
Yes. But we are calculating interest now. Surcharge means recovery of the money plus a charge.
Oh, okay.
Because the Supreme Court in Occupy Ghana versus Attorney General explain say there are two things: disallowance and surcharge. Okay. Disallowance is where the Auditor General will officially cancel or disapprove the payment.
Okay.
Then they take the next step to surcharge, and the surcharge is recovery plus a penalty or some additional money for taking government money. And I mentioned my imagine say I should try and be objective. And he need to show when him as a captain who to say now papa with the own to say.
Okay.
So I decided to use the lending rate of Bank of Ghana.
Hey.
It's a Bank of Ghana offer. Say Bank of Ghana, Emosika, they have a lending rate.
Okay.
So I say, okay, it is so far Bank of Ghana says me say charge you there. I'll take it say wabo this year every. And the calculating the see 411 million
Ghana cedis
from the time the monies were paid up to date. No, the Zoom Lion TSC in a court.
So yes,
because the law actually says that anybody who is aggrieved can appeal at the High Court.
Okay.
And it was within their right. According to the Audit Service Act in Section 17, you have 60 days to do that, actually. So he appealed in a court. A court is also High Court in Ebutiano.
The High Court,
because we brought evidence. Judge, documents are they District Assembly in any the same documents in the National Health Insurance. And there's the evidence.
The judge is
Judge said, "Me know AI into Omungo to his cano." Emma by one Zoom Lion appeal to Court of Appeal.
Okay.
And the Court of Appeal no. I said the Omo and challenge surcharge say the appeal is because the thing say the jurisdiction of the Auditor General does not affect a private business.
How?
It stops at government officials.
And the
ban is happening at Court of Appeal say, oh, okay. So now we are talking about interpreting the Constitution and the mandate of the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. Oh, okay. So that's how Asake is
exactly. In the only Supreme Court say Supreme Court should interpret. In the Supreme Court. Satam na kabena sana 3 or 4 days be ansana sa leave a yeneba na me nimsi leave kra eba nti go Supreme Court and through my lawyers na ga Supreme Court say you don't need to do any interpretation, and we have drawn the Court of Appeal's attention already. Say in Occupy Ghana versus Attorney General, when they were giving the consequential orders, they said the Auditor General should hold public servants and all other people. So they interpret the person which is in the law. They were supposed to interpret when they say should hold persons accountable. Who are the persons?
Both private and public.
Thank you. And they themselves interpreted the person. And you don't need to interpret it anymore. But Omenti.
Supreme Court
oh, the Omenti. And in Ansani, as a call leave. And I'm calling leave.
Tikes the
and the Supreme Court say, when we say the Auditor General's mandate covers the private sector there, and so you must, the judge did not establish fraud in the case. So if he had established fraud there, then the mandate of the Auditor General gets activated. And based upon that, they said, no, the mandate does not cover except if the private sector or the private person is fraudulent. Me say, hey, Supreme Court, what kind of judgment now I bear? Me say, in but of course, at time now, the current Auditor General, he was acting for me. So he agreed with whatever the Supreme Court said. And so they wrote back to the Court of Appeal, said, the mandate does not cover this because the judge did not establish fraud. And Article 187, Clause 7B. There is no mention of fraud there. It was imported by the Supreme Court. But fortunately, I was not
That
there.
was imported by the Supreme
Yes,
Court.
to be honest with you, an army officer and the uncounted
What's it?
because I was ready to challenge them, to tell them. I will beg their permission that I want to speak myself, not my lawyers. I want to speak to them. But fortunately, that I'm not in the office. Because now I was very determined to say, no matter what, I will challenge these guys. Because no more about that. No more sophomore for the
Okay.
now, and I was really peeved by how they treated the sophomore one. Okay, Crown Associates.
That's right.
And Sana Weber. But fortunately, I was not the Auditor General at the time, and it is an office, not a personal thing. So it went and died.
Okay, tell me what happened. What call office? Yes, you could leave. You then day. You see a local office. What happened? Tell me that story. You are not fair, but the role of the auditor in the building.
Local that was the Zoom Lions time, as well as Crow and Associate. The two cases were happening at the same time.
Okay.
But now Crow and Associate was more popular. Because of Asafumafu. Now people were aware of this one. And also the same type of thing in Crofono Ekoye audit. Now, before then, let me explain something. I am among audit. I say, when the Auditor General goes around and be looking into, no, we have institutional arrangement that teams go to do their audit. Until when they do the finding as if Auditor General doesn't know. There be, like, there are audit offices all over the country. Just like how the police operate. And then you say, IGP, HOB, or Abomusua, maybe he is not aware. Until maybe the case is brought to him, he is not even aware. Until this team who went to Ministry of Finance, and Omo audit in 2018, and who payment of about $1 million. Since Omo referred to around 1 million Ghana cedis. No. $1 million. $1 million Ghana cedis.
$1 million.
Yes, that's a credit that's all. Over $1 million. Crow and Associates. So the audit question was very simple. Where's the evidence of the work done? Because according to the contract, contracts, normally you do work and then they pay you. So where's the evidence? Yes. Now evidence, no Munsanka. And I say, okay. Let's go back to basics. First and foremost, contract no crowning.
Contractor, you share $1 million. Crow and
exactly. Contract no away. And on the contract no buy a honor auditors and say I agree there because when Jessica bears 6 months and then I'm sign contract.
Sasa Debbie, $1 million.
Exactly.
Emma Crow and Associates.
Yes.
After 6 months.
And Sana.
Almost signed contract.
So the contract happened months. I don't know whether it's exactly 6 months, but after the payment of the money.
Wow.
Okay. And she assumed a bed. Now contract amosan so procurement process ben amofa so procure because it is part of procurement. Now procurement is a competitive or restricted tendering or single source. Also single source is okay. Say single source there approval modi single source no because according to the Public Procurement Act no Esemunya approval from the Public Procurement Board. That's what I say you should get approval from Public Procurement Authority. Public Procurement Board.
So there's a difference between the board and the authority.
In the act defines the authority and defines the board as the governing authority of the board.
Okay.
And it is only the board. Ghana Fontaine.
Yeah.
It's only the board which has that mandate, not the authority.
Okay.
Nipa bebre also when your public procurement authority approval. Nanse me who NCA communication be on say now it was in social media. Only they got approval. Me can't say this is a fake approval. Because it is stated there that PPA hereby approves. No, they can't approve. It is the board.
Only the board.
Yes, until the proper approvals. No, Osha, the PPA chief executive writes at the board meeting on this date, board meeting number so and so, approval was given.
Okay.
So he communicates.
So it's not the authority.
Not the authority.
Board.
It is the board.
Okay.
And he say, where is the approval? And somebody copy. Satam case now. I hear a leak internet or social media. And he somebody copy by and say, oh, authority. Do you notice that it is an approval from the PPA, not the board? Obia or person or Timas, on kind section 40 of the Public Procurement Act. It is clearly stated there, 39, 30, and 39, I think 40 and 41 of the Public Procurement Authority Act. And it should be a board approval. You say, but this one is PPA approval. ABIJ's approval is not the board's approval. So I cannot accept this. That is one. Two, this approval is given after the contract has been signed. Till payment was done, contract signed, approval now get received.
Huh?
Reverse GA. You apply reverse GA. This approval was given after the contract has been approved. And ironically, given by a chief executive who doesn't have that mandate. It is the board which has the mandate. But the most interesting part, Captain, let me say, the approval was to Kandapa National Security, not Senior Minister.
The approval, no.
The approval, it was even addressed
to the National Security Minister.
Exactly.
Not the Senior
Exactly.
Minister.
It said the Education Service, approval. Now health, Amaso, Edieko.
Hey!
Exactly. So these are two different entities. Now, guys, are you reading the approval? The approval is being given to national security. And I'm saying, okay, so this approval idea, but then the evidence of work done, and also here.
Okay.
And also so so they raised the audit.
What years can before approval? And
almost sign, and sign a contract. Yes, sign.
Yes,
sign contract. And sign approval. And approval. No, can you also for the national security.
And I was also compared you more years.
They give us the evidence as well. They are not giving it.
Now, also with the $1 million in Ghana for
almost they were going to collect some money via now it has been paid by the previous government.
That's right.
And so. Because under the contract, no. Captain, when you say we can want someone come a copy of the approval no 1 hour. Some people were paid about $750 an hour.
Oh, please, Chief.
Person also be needs to be to Google that contract and yes, to me Google that Crew and Associate. Now 1 hour.
Every hour they $750.
I think the maximum was about $750. A day 500. No, so for within an hour. Beautiful amounts. And Papa with reference Manasseh. He also made a story about it. No, see the president's salary for a man to cry is about somebody's 1 hour 1 hour payment. But when they issued the audit observation, that was January 2018, I remember, they could not provide the evidence of the work done. And in March, they issued the management letter. These are all according to law. Audit now, okay. According to Regulation 34 of the Audit Service Regulation, you issue observations on the field. The audit team leader is supposed to issue the observations and receive response. I don't know, 1 year in January 2018. Then I remember in March, the team leader issued the management letter, which again, in accordance with Section 29 of the Audit Service Act, you are supposed to respond within 30 days. And also response number. Until June, and I may issue the audit report to Parliament. Because after 30 days, we say March, April, May, you try 30 days, no long time. To June, and I may issue me a report in the Parliament. Me issue a report in June, Honorable Safumafo, sanctuary. Say, oh, Sankrofo, no more ye Juman as a for Monsieur Mate. I didn't respond to that letter because now my issue me report every time is also I sank out. Umami change remove any evidence in the tomb the dada and tip my fee. And a surcharge in buy and almost saying almost tiasi and almost the air court. And almost the court. Almost the court. Me refi the lawyer need anyway. The lawyers say. For national security interest, Entina Ejuma Omoye and they couldn't show it to the auditors. And so it was for a national interest, Mr. Edi. This is the opportunity I was looking for. Because now me person establishing one point. Say nobody is exempted from audit. Not even the president. We audit the president. We audit the National Audit Security Office in Agasan. So why would
sometimes you don't make it public?
Yes, it depends upon the findings.
Okay.
So findings here, what will not cause trouble there.
You don't make it public.
Yes.
So you were looking for that.
I was looking for an opportunity to establish this.
To investigate the national security.
Everybody can be audited. No, we have been auditing them already. But at times there was pushback. Like this is national security issue. We said no. There's nothing like that. Until we serve Honorable Safumafo and Korean Associate notice that 2 weeks, if you don't give us the evidence for the work done and answer the other questions, the expenditure will be disallowed and you will be surcharged. Anyway, we issue a notice. A copy goes to Attorney General, copy goes to the office of the President.
Almost everybody had a copy.
Now, man, for be say, oh, to me, say, charge. You can't. You say, hey, you don't know this guy. That was a team at them, call him. Now, me name Kusi, and Kana Zufan. Into Nipa, there's a Nipa there. Ubo means Rokura. And he, time no say, a surcharge, and also on Tiasia. No, I'm the court. To only court and so. Nyamincha, dear, Justice Efia. So Muno say, Obisa me say, and since the main issue is evidence for work done, so catch on the young share a Jumana or my anymore. If you direct them to make it available to you, will I do it? And say they won't do it.
Okay, I say you
won't do it. Yeah, because through my lawyers say no, we won't do it. And I say why? I say because you'll be setting a bad precedent. Because in everybody say, Captain, you have the team Nancy say, it is come and say, on studio. No way, see. They disallow near say charge now. I feel HR and as in film, you know, HR, say, my studio into rubber hair. In that case, you are making audit useless, completely useless. So, media, as far as I'm concerned, I finished my work. So it is up to you to say, what you have to, and as a winning to.
Hey.
Yeah. And almost raise the national security issue. And Justice Afia say, almost the national security day, according to the Constitution, Supreme Court na integrity national security issues. Into also board to straight. Supreme Court. And I got there Supreme Court. Supreme Court is beside the first question. So, Auditor General, if we ask you to go and look at the work that the senior minister did, will you do it? Let me say no. Through my lawyer, I say no, I will not. No, so why? I say because the audit is completed. And I want you to tell me, under what mandate will the court even do that? Because according to Article 187 Clause 7A, or say the Auditor General in the performance of his functions under this Constitution and any other law is not under the direction and control of any other person or authority. I think you are part of the authority. You can say that my work is not good, I'm setting it aside. But you can't interfere to say go and do an audit or continue the audit.
Okay.
So I don't think it lied with the Supreme Court.
You told them that?
Through my lawyers, we challenged that. And me and Madam for Justice Jones Doche.
Okay.
He was the one presiding over the case. It was a court rice. And one of more rice here, one call Muchimba. Then you go carry me and one agree on him. I try one of Mosamba say. In the wisdom of the Supreme Court, they are directing the senior minister to give that evidence to the Auditor General. And Auditor General has 10 days to come back to the Supreme Court to tell the Supreme Court, say, whether he's satisfied or he's not satisfied. My lawyer, Esther, no, sit down, no, sit. Yes, but Mangasa. Into Zoom Lion, they buy Namia Zenka, almost I will stand up and speak. Hey, I'll tell them I don't care the consequence. You can even sentence me to death, but I'm going to tell you my peace of mind. But Yamin Chadi, I'm also says that I'm not me leave into my uncle. In the Supreme Court, at the buyer said that we should go back and do the work, no? Now, Omama me 10 days. 5 days into the 10 days. I was not going to do it. I was going to wait till the 10 days expired, and my colleague said, no, they were acting unconstitutionally.
About your leave?
No, not about my leave. About the directive for me to go back and do the audit. They were interfering because I piled up several cases. Supreme Court has refused to interfere with Electoral Commission. Their decisions. So I was going to show it to them. That you say Electoral Commission is independent. And the same clause.
Supreme Court now they be a kind of say they are dangerous, they are wicked. NPP bidding, bidding. On one breath, most electoral commission there, you can't interfere in their business. And they are this, they are that, they are sacrosanct. Fine and come on 2 million idea more. Meanwhile, Auditor General no na Juma ayedi ahye nensa ene ne yedi ahye electoral commissioner the same to me constitution no dey ma we no the same to me ne dey ma we so to me constitution no dey bo we Auditor General ho ban no eno ha na bo isi ho ban enti no we nya different and na we so nya den enye different, they are all the same. What you say? But nipa born for some wickedness ne akronfo a yasesa omodi o makogu Supreme Court ho na Chief Justice tukonu da o manonti nsem hunu ene friend say anim ya bo amo nsem hunu ene omoto ene asabi omudi e de kire Ghana for ya menshira Ghana for say o ma take bold decision to correct some of this friend saying abnormalities.
Interfere with Electoral Commission. Go back and do the audit. They were interfering because I piled up several cases. Supreme Court has refused to interfere with Electoral Commission. Their decisions. So I was going to show it to them. That you say Electoral Commission is independent. And the same clause by which you decide not to go and direct the Electoral Commissioner protects me. In fact, Electoral Commissioner didn't put there subject to the Constitution and other law. Other gender, there's no qualification. He said in the performance of his functions, he's not under the direction and control. Well, admittedly, I know I'm under the control of the law.
That's right.
That one, I'm not saying that anybody can be above the law. I know that. But my partner said, at worst, it is the same law. So how come in this case, now I've got my lawyers to pull out a lot of cases from an issue. So you refuse to direct EC. Why are you directing me? Be consistent. Consistency is very important of every profession.
Hey, that would have been damning.
Oh yes, I was ready to go to jail. Because me very ready. Now I was ready for a candidate for jail. And I was going to go to jail through the Supreme Court. That means I'll challenge them publicly, disgrace them, insult them, and they'll put me inside. I was more than ready to do that because me didn't say.
For own say, Nkrofobi say ni here or Ghana Hanu. We Sabi.
You don't even know what you want to do.
And yet, Sabi, me can say, and yet, Sabi, and yet, ne papa Japadie. Ghana and ne papa Japadie. Ghana nyene papa bibia ono so sabi adwuma na obeye enti adwuma na oba beye no se sabi obetata no na se na no adua no bebo no the problem be bre na ko betime decide say okay ma yi minsa firi mu ya mo se yenye ni si well yang to aso ne yenye me dey say after all me boso me bia betu ameka. But this man insisted Bushafo, this man insisted to the extent that was Kobeko just say yebe just say yebe jailing Krampuna, he was ready to go to jail just to defend Ghana. Women and you lessons in film just to defend Ghana, the name Ghana, to protect Ghana's money. And the papa he said he was ready to go to jail to face Supreme Court on Kobeba bontia bek cassette ya omo achire kwan ya ne krono omo bo azane corruption omo ye no ho no mo antino omo hwe ama nkrofo sika ya say no ama Ghana NPP fo dia say no omo protect Ghana for na adwuma nko so ye no protect Ghana sika anka sabi ebitimi e dia ye ayarehwebia se bi e be sisi hospitals ne schools ne ho ade no na nkrofo bi akon ho bomu di no da bi yen hwem no yen hwem protect no manajuma enkoso na nso so senke is ECD electoral commission dia enka Supreme Court ho no ma stupid useless rulings, unanimous decisions, unanimous rulings. Anyansa bia nim odwene ho anyansa bia nim abofra kra bisa no be catch us there bi we die nyansa bia nim we na yete ho krum ha. And these are the people we should support. Enti anyame ho wasa o mampeni Mahama apa we di akoka oral thing hu. I am so happy so such a man has been appointed to be part of the oral team to make sure say Boni biara akoso under this Akufo-Addo government, Baumia government no. Yade ba a friend say book amu biya di nani ahubi na mi wonu mo e wase ye twom aso no e di omo famra kwan abusia yanto aso ni enkotie nkomo no
candidate for jail, and I was going to go to jail through the Supreme Court. That means I'll challenge them publicly, disgrace them, insult them, and they'll put me inside. I was more than ready to do that because Minjiri said the judiciary has a very important role to play in any country.
Okay.
And they must be credible, and they must act in ways that people will trust them. But from my personal point of view, I thought they were being inconsistent. And consistency as an accountant, we say accountant is one of our fundamental concepts.
If it's an executive influencer now.
Meaning to be a free say, so being influence you and your media, as far as I'm concerned, you must be consistent.
That's all.
Executive influence, it can come on everybody at all. And see, that is how it went. And the next day, breaking news, they say, my acting auditor general, the deputy, has cleared Crow and Associates. So we finished the audit within 24 hours. We say, wow. Where fast the power? Meaning, speed is that. Anyway, so that is how it ended. Until one day response, Ekoma Justice Efia said, well, Auditor General is not satisfied with the job. Set you free. So that ended it.
And Tisikana he?
Ashi.
Zulai on the other side.
Ashi. Almost from wedding. Free.
Wow. Apart from this, challenges Ben Ushia in your duty, line of duty as the Auditor General.
Oh, challenges in the baby. You know the Ghanaian mindset or mentality. Dribia yede Jantua any who you know, say for no. To your home one classmate be a wound. I chair won't kind of say, hey, when you say, so so the menu, you none call guardians, you none call people, an audit issue. We say that. Oh yes, I am winning. Hey, I am winning. Say, oh, wait there. You so we are right, but so there be the audit now. Yes, so I did come on for say, if you want to do something like that, and just say you are spoiling your integrity, and they say audit no. And sana a bedroom auditor general no. Now it has been established down there because in the course of the audit.
So it is not you
No, the Auditor General doesn't own the field. Auditor General call field.
What's your office?
Meeting office. At times, audit because we delegated it to the various branches and units. Yes, we have delegated it. So you are in charge of the district, so you can continue planning and doing the district audit. You are in charge of the region. You can do a audit there. We are in charge of Ministry of Finance. So there are sectional heads who plan and carry out the audit. They have raised the observation at Uncle Brainy. In China was a sweep under the carpet. It's
no to be
big cages or omniums are somewhere there. Mudia woman so okay, dear. Go and tell the auditee. Say observations are omreziano. Okay. Normally they'll say, this is what we should do to correct it. So they normally do what you call recommendations to correct it. And if there are recommendations, go and respond to the recommendation. Say, and I want to mean, maybe this is how I can do it. Maybe I'll say, to scan within a week. So 1 week in the annual, maybe Mama Bosome, and I'm assuming, if you are able to settle it down, they themselves will write it that they have received a satisfactory response. Until you just assemble the Nasamko. Until go and deal with at that point. You see, sir, the only instances, sir, make us say I was directly involved. Directly involved is when the request comes from government.
Okay.
Disappear from social.
Say, there was a point in time, Omni requested be by say former parliamentarians. Salary arrears and they say Cherku 4 times. Satamna a friend say Omampeni Kurana or MP, member of parliament.
That's right.
Na chief of staff Nasifuna, no members of including former president John Dramani. They were Mahama, now we MPs. Now allowance be an salary difference be as Anki Chiama Kufo Impia and Omode Abrams and mention na Yentia amount.
I know the
Omode Breme directly. Timisaka and say, Musu, I am here research Kakra. Now, Murres officer, Murres officer, no more accountant general. No more accountant general,
Auditor General.
There be, before Auditor General, Nama gave 18 years in accountant general.
I buy payments today, Unim Kakra.
Thank you. Before time, Nama accountant general as a director. And then I knew about it. Sal payment, and I was actually director of payroll. In the salaries, what it was. And some number me say, in your dear way now, President Kufo, every so they come Professor Mills, and our SETI committee headed by Mr. Yamson, Ishmael Yamson.
Professor Ishmael.
Yes. And Yamson's committee, at the recommendation, Eko Koma President Mills, Emma Ojina, so a chairman, and as I'm Timmy go share document and Yaminja documents. And we throw back to Madame Fuma say, India. I do. You told me to the India. I know the net and young staff, and then we are face to face. The audits in the do some if you are one won't like auditing back to say, and Yamana me, but also Bible too many. About the use of gate fund money for scholarship for brilliant and needy students. So okay,
MPs
exactly. And you say, "Buy no money." Nana, me catch us na po madam for pa. Do pay a friend. To me, come office come say, you go for people din. But I'm not sure about this. I say no correct.
I confess it.
I say no correct, but he applied. So as long as he is paid, he say, hey, send it here. Okay. But if you apply that.
Brilliant but needy students.
Yes. Okay, me say, oh no, you're brilliant. And so definitely we are brilliant. And I say, you mean I'm not needy? And we say, constituency briefing, Mensia, we need needy person. But now they ask the same yesterday. I'm saying, you know something. You have not gotten the catch. the law did not only talk about brilliant and needy students. It said for secondary and tertiary education in Ghana. London, Ghana.
Wow, enough for Minia.
Until the point I'm trying to make here is that you have used the money for the unintended purpose. Oh, say okay, the report will be issued. The report will be threatening me, but could you put your say 24 hours? I should retract my decision.
Why no?
I've forgotten his name.
No, MP.
Yes. Now, that time he was a deputy minister, I think at a Greek or housing or something of that night.
Deputy minister, a Greek.
Is it a Greek or health?
I don't know. Deputy minister Saba, first one, I came on that MP. Now, Ochro chemistry book. And Kwetu.
We said I say a Greek and I say housing, but when we go to who say he gave me 24 hours.
Okay.
Say I should retract and change the lesson. And we give him call him the bluff. And say you should go ahead. Say me audit Captain Smart. Now say Captain Smart say audit scanner ma papa. Now say scanner enko na ma me report say na Captain Smart e ka chere me a. What offense have I committed to you? I'd rather tell you that you are being used for so. And so you cannot, and so I responded to say that the evidence or the information was obtained from the gate fund. It is not something we cooked ourselves. So I left it there. But it was also one of the very challenging times. Media for big friend, a bit to 2 minutes, so support to me. It's easy. So that's the long and short of it.
Okay, so we are convinced about I'll protect the public purse.
Yeah.
If you want to make money, go to the public sector.
Exactly.
The Adas principle.
Yeah.
After Sawashe with Jumasino, did you still believe Nanado?
At all.
Oh.
At all. At all. The rhetorics were far higher and greater than the action on the ground. Now, tap to you. I was say I will be some question. Well, question will be something. Well, would you need? So you will see a whole series of cases, allegations, and whatnot. Now, on Angasan Krawak clear before the investigation. Sorry, we can't say anybody who there's an allegation against is guilty.
Okay.
The latest one of Cecilia Dapadi, urging a letter. What was the need for the president to say, I know you'll be exonerated? Why should you say that? It preempts the investigation. Okay. I said he is the head of the state. These investigating bodies are all under him. They are not as independent as the Auditor General is. And you see who and you have already put your position publica. But you see, but look at what Martin Amidu told all of us. You know, I was working hand in hand with Martin Amidu.
Okay.
And we shared our frustrations, and I know what he went through. So when he came out with the terminology of mother separator, I was not surprised. So that is it. The rhetorics were far higher than what we have seen on the ground.
Would you ever trust Nanado again if you hear him say, I am not corrupt?
No. Oh. He can't even say that. Can you say that today? Now, anyone can say, we are paying to feel now, Shaman Guaran, every Nankani, Nankawi for come. Thank you. Ziakai, Nankawi for. So come. Ushaman Guarawi Nanka. So come. Come to me, one. Thank you.
What share with Jumayo as Auditor General, Sam, that the level of corruption, not to say?
To be honest, now corruption no war. Actually, say me share not only as Auditor General, me share me service during the public service. From 91, I me join a Accountant General, a BC semi-free eduma. Corruption there never. Only say na amounts na say foundation.
Okay.
Could be for Gino Waje 1,000 and 20,000, 3,000. And now they are checking how far. But since you are there, I know I say. Since you are 1,000 now, so for you create you millions, billions. At times, the amount you know, so auditor general mention amount and amount for you.
Because I must say 20 billion.
Okay, say me free so no, and I say mommy call leave no. Audit report will be early here.
That's right.
I almost say 52 billion. Nyanga sa mi wem si depi we the adabraka. I know me can me see but it's too much. And me now in issue rejoinder. Confirming say it is part of the observation. Say hey. I remember say George Winfo, one of the deputy auditor general, and an issue rejoinder, a press release actually. You say, hey, 52 billion.
Yes, so one crop for buy.
And at the end of the day, the new auditor general said, in the reports, no more air cost. This is, it has escalated in the amount. Say, it's mind-boggling. It's not easy to understand why things are going that way.
If you know, Mokasa could leave, no, Ushia, His Excellency, or friend, no. About why I want person who could leave.
There be free Saturn, MC Menene in Shiada, in Shell, baby, I'm friend also that.
I am person who do office near lock your office.
Oh, yeah. Now, says Saturn, you will leave. Now, me Ghana for what I say, who will leave? You have not been sacked from work. When you are on leave, you come to office. It is a common practice. You can come to office to attend meetings or do some things that you need to do. And I was passing by the ministries and I said, I'll come to the office. I think I was going for a copy of my constitution. Okay. Because now I had left my documents behind. And to be fair, the acting auditor general pulled me catch and said, I'm coming to the office because I want to pick a copy of my constitution.
Okay.
Till me drew her and say, Safana me copy. I had my copy, my secretary also had. Till me try the secretaries want to be and can't change the assistant, you know.
Assistant local.
Yeah, assistant local. Until me try, say, woman's assistant local. No. I'm saying, oh, why would they change the law? What is the need? Until me call acting auditor general or Google this and say, why? No, so the board met and they said they want to protect the office. Against who? They want to protect the office. Against who? Are they preventing me from the office or protecting the office? You know, so, well, that was the decision. Say, people may go in there to do some things which may not. We say, we have CCTV camera, we have security, and we have secretary sitting there and everything. Somebody will go into my office. I say, wow. You know, so key forgetting who somebody's me pay. I'm going to say that I will pay. And the enemy, it is true. Say they locked the office at the time. Maybe they had known by that time what they wanted to do.
You think, say, intentionally, no one person will fight corruption?
Me tia papa be no PLO Lumumba.
Yes.
See, he misread his terms of reference when he was appointed head of to fight corruption, the head of anti-corruption agency. Me just say it was the same with me. I misread the terms of reference, and he said he thought the terms of reference was for him to fight corruption. But then the terms of reference, the actual thing is you should pretend to fight corruption, but not you should not fight corruption. And that is what I also did. I misread this.
Your terms of reference.
Yes, because Auditor General in terms of reference, and you've been a chairman, it's in the Constitution.
Okay.
The entire Article 187 is a very long one.
So in Dumelovo's point of view,
yeah,
you were actually stopped from fighting corruption.
Oh yes, from my point of view, and I wrote that to the president.
Hey,
when the letter came for me to go on leave, I said no, I have a constitutional mandate to issue audit report within 6 months after the end of the financial year. Because of COVID, the report had delayed a bit, so we were in, I think, ending June. It was getting to the end of June, so I can't stop my constitutional lesson and go. But I think, which is my view up to today, that my audits are disturbing you, so you want me to go and leave. And Nana Santibedwe too wrote back to tell me, say, he can forgive me because I'm not a lawyer. My appreciation of the law is not the best thing. Oh, he is there. It's that green document. It is there. So I'm saying, oh, good. Fortunately, now the Supreme Court also doesn't understand the law. So they agree with my position. So that's why I said that I hope in one of the TV stations, I said they should call the Supreme Court to go back to classes and go and learn the law again.
So that's why you said that?
Exactly. So I said, since you said I didn't appreciate the law, that's why I was making that statement. And the Supreme Court has upheld my position, then please go and give some further legal education to the Supreme Court.
Okay, how many threatening messages or phone calls now?
Minkai the number I checked. Oh, I don't know, but it didn't bother me. Normally, when they start, okay. You don't.
Is it? Do you think, say, why are you into corruption and so on?
To the bit me to us here. Say the normalcy econo, and you're fine. If you look at the trend, it's not the best now. Remember quite hammer drink a crapper and he said the cost of acquiring political office has become so huge, said that it contributes a lot to corruption.
Hey,
say, oh yeah,
becoming MP, becoming a minister, becoming
now
a
before
president.
you become an MP, before you become minister, before you become president,
about 5-6 million Ghana cedis.
Thank you. Now says can go funny. Obina de boni bisia and also bisika any the man. Now, when you become the minister or when you become the president, etc., you have to pay back plus interest.
So acquiring a political office contributes to corruption.
To me, it's serious. And the last time I was speaking somewhere, and I don't remember where, but I was telling them that, look, do you reckon that in the 8 years of being a president or being a minister or being a vice president, you will not have earned even 5 million? Because President Crawford said 50,000 a month. It will be 4.8 in the 8 years.
8 years.
Okay.
We have been offered 5 million.
And the question I was asking is, former president, unya 60 million now, you see, or the year in a company, unya free. And vice president, you see 80 million, unya free. That's the reason why I've been calling for lifestyle audit. Here lifestyle audit to say, so what to me I say is and I'm saying it's free, so that we can tell Ghanaians how you got it.
So you think that the primary we are MPBS was spending and you
should account for it. Because look, the country runs a serious risk. Do you know the risk? One, drug peddlers or drug gangs will be funding our politicians. And when they win election, we are dead. I hope that does not materialize. Yes. The next dangerous group, terrorists. You know, there are a lot of terrorist groups in Africa. Almost rough. We also pay 1 billion ground. Yeah. All they need is a theft where they can operate. You may be creating a safe haven for those type of things. And of course, even the neo-colonial masters, they are also interested in power in our country. Until Captain Smart, Judy, 10 million, and now 20 million for campaign. All the things that you are buying should come from our country. Every procurement should be international competitive tendering. The last time I was talking about it, I said, a two-phone architecture, oh, our knowledge is being used to destroy instead of to help. For instance, let me talk about a bit about procurement. What sense does it make to say a nebri say ukoto goods above 10 million? It must be international competitive tendering. 10 million is how many dollars? It's not up to even $1 million. It's about $800,000. It must be international competitive tendering. Now say international competitive tendering. What is the muzzle of the Ghanaian businessman against that of a Nigerian, against that of South Africa, India, any China, Bermuda? We are lost. So it means you are giving the job to outsiders. What are we doing? We are exporting jobs. That's why we are in the stupid situation we find ourselves. I can't phone. I don't know.
Situation.
Yes. People don't understand it. They think that, look, before you can get value for money, you must do international. I say, who told you that? What is the value for money? Your children have no work to do. You are exporting jobs. And you call it value for money. They look at value for money, especially the procurement specialists. They look at that word from a very narrow perspective.
Okay.
But if you look at it from a bigger perspective, it is better to buy this thing plus maybe 10 or 20% from within so that you create jobs, help the economy, than to send it outside. Who can't? Some of them will tell you that that's why the law talks about margin of preference. And I want to address it. I don't know whether you know of margin of preference. Preference, yes. Margin of preference is so per se I didn't free Ghana and as a producing or Ghana. Wait me, I can say we made a margin of preference of 10% at also. And it says, say Ghana, you know, say the price, no, a higher, not a more 10% there would be my Ghana.
Okay.
Which looks smart, but it's not as smart as your name.
Oh, sir.
It's very daft.
Oh.
Because you will state it in the document, the tender document. Say there is a margin of preference of 10%. China ni amounts to the county government, man 50%. I say, okay, then we will give you 50% so you can beat the Ghanaian. And beat him mercilessly. But he will not disclose what his export substitution to you. About same Tina, Captain, you know what to go Accra. Who call America, who call Britain, chicken boarding power. But with the Bagana, cheaper than our local one.
That's right.
Because they pay them almost the full cost of it. So the only Bahana is just a profit.
It's a warning.
Yes.
Warning.
Thank you. Because nobody is substituting it. Now, Obi Ketchero said, today, day and age, no subsidy for agric. Check America how much support they give to the agric. Check all those people who are telling to remove those subsidies. How they support this. It is said here, Ofi, Unquarani, Pussy no Diania, open policy to maybe a gate after a potem quarry now, Diana Medibi, Ubanzo 6 months old. Thank you. That is what we are doing. So I've been telling that there is a need for procurement reform. We should do the procurement so that it can create jobs.
Procurement in we should do it in such a way that
it can create jobs,
not to export
not
jobs.
Only in the country, not to export, not only in the country, but even in the local authorities. Okay, for instance, every procurement relating to a district must be procured in the district. It will create jobs there. Captain Betman can say, "Many 100,000." May call Azima say, "I've forgotten the place you were mentioning that you went for the Easter. I'm going to open magazine." Yes, may call could be a home so that they can get some work to do. Do you know government is the highest buyer in the country? You know that?
Yes.
Government buys a lot. So procurement is a tool that we can use to create jobs. For instance, let me give you one example which beats my mind. It beats my mind, to be honest with you. Anytime I'm traveling our roads, look at our roads, how bad they are. Okay? And then some say, when will we stop constructing roads? I think the Jesus comes with the work ends. Is that not it?
We are every year, every day.
So are we saying we cannot train Ghanaians to take over this industry? I know the hindering or the limitation factors against funds to get finance. So government can say, look, I'm even putting this money aside, or I'm creating equipment pool, like a plant pool. So we a local contractor. You just come and hire the equipment, go and construct the job. So you don't need that big capital outlay.
That's right. There's a pool of equipment.
Yes. So you just come and hire it. I will pay you. You pay me. Do you understand?
That's right.
The cost of hiring is what you pay me.
That's right.
Then the rest is yours. It will be creating a lot of jobs. So when I see Chinese and etc., I say, hey, that bank goes in that bank. Come in Nkrumah days, you got job 600. Yet you see. And then we cannot.
And then la polyclinic here, we're going to be busy.
Thank you. So I think we, as a country, it doesn't matter whether Mahama or Baumia or which party wins the election, we may have to rethink procurement. Public procurement is a disaster. from my point of view. Captain, as an Auditor General, let me tell you one thing which is very annoying about public procurement. One more time, no manner. What people say they need a thing, that's why they buy it. Now, most of the things they buy it and just keep it there and it will get rust. Haven't you seen several government buildings that have been abandoned? Some even completed, abandoned and not used. Haven't you seen government vehicles? Abandoned. And not the tip of the iceberg. Stores which are obsolete and being thrown away. And easy. Because one very silly policy, forgive me.
Silly, go ahead.
Lack of better word.
No, silly is silly.
Ministries, department, and agencies say that, I feel call Newe, now went to me and spend your budget. Ministry of Finance, for being couple. And they get into November, December, they buy things like mad. So they don't buy the thing because they need to. Because the budget must finish.
And yes, our finance minister on to.
Thank you.
October, November, December. No.
They buy things like mad.
Just to waste the resources.
Yes. So, I think we might have to. That's why I was doing a procurement audit. Nyamian Chadi, the report now, they will have slaughtered their life. That report, I actually described in that report PPA as a crime scene. Because
so PPA is a crime scene.
Of course, they were condoning, like I'm saying, they are condoning a lot of wrong procurement. Remember, the entire makers and say, one, Maker said the approvals by the chief executive without that of the board, it was not right. You guys are
sure.
Good. Even the right of the board to approve a procurement request for single source or restricted tendering, there are conditions given in the law. They don't just have that right. The right accrues only when you meet those conditions. First, Captain Smart, Nkwani Onipa produces idea, so it's the only person. That's why we want to buy from him.
Okay.
That is one. Two, because of an emergency, you see a go through procurement process. Three, if you are to cameras, it must be the one you are going to buy must be compatible with them until you are called the same place. And as I four, national security. There are a lot of conditions stated there. OSHA approves many times. They don't tell us which one applies in this case as a result of which they were approved. That's why I was doing the procurement audit. To tell them that one, approvals need to be okra and you will as a approve. Two, one as a approve. So that mandate has not yet been activated because the law gives a condition under which you should give the approval.
Wow.
But honestly, now I wanted to portray a picture for Ghanaians to understand how we were exporting jobs and hurting our economy through international competitive tendering.
Okay. Auditor General
View. That's right. Well,
you were a no-nonsense man. It's about Ghana first.
I have the saying that never say never. But you have to leave the scene for somebody also to come in. To help my country, yes, in a different capacity. But as Auditor General, a bit hard because since you are a bit too brutal. Since you are a bit too brutal. A bit too brutal. Now, when you say, are you sure? Say, I don't know who is going to win the election. Whoever comes, we like you to audit him. The same thing as the first year when you are auditing the previous person, you will be a good guy. From the second year, and I'm say, now I'm above 60. And so the maximum the constitution gives is 2 years.
But you can be given a contract to save the country.
That is 2 years.
Yes, so within the 2 years.
The first year, you are a good friend. Second year, fireworks.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm looking at Ghana.
Well, I agree with you, but I don't even believe that any party will be interested in bringing him back as Auditor General. See what has happened in the past.
Okay. I have your near studios, I have your court, but I want yes or no to some of these questions I'm going to ask you.
Go ahead.
Your politicians, though.
Yeah.
Are they corrupt?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you say so?
The evidence is there.
Okay.
And me can be say kind of before opinion of this or remember I will or can be.
Okay.
So they are condoning it or something like that. Yeah.
Your politicians, Ushawa, are they willing to fight corruption?
Even if they are willing, I'm not sure they are willing. Even if they are willing, the circumstance under which they find themselves.
Okay, so are they pretending?
They are pretending. Because Mikai earlier on said, if you spend 5 million, 10 million to become an MP, they are not for the Christmases or for the Easter. So they will have to recoup. And how do they recoup? You can't recoup if you are doing the genuine thing. That's why I'm saying that Ghanaians, we have to look for a way of making acquiring political office cheaper. And democracy is nothing Ghanaian. It's a universal concept. If you go to some countries, even the next week or the next day there's going to be election, you won't even hear anything. You don't even know that there's going to be election. They give them opportunities to showcase what they have on TV, like you people, radio, and then they create a platform where they can meet the people and answer questions, and that ends it. But see what is going to happen in 3 or 4 months' time. Our streets are going to be littered with a lot of pamphlets and whatnot, etc. It's just too bad. Coming Congress, all those things should be regulated. We should stop it. It's not necessary.
Wow.
So we here poster. You can have a place where you all put your poster and finish. You don't go putting your poster on bridges, on poles, on people's houses, etc. It's indiscipline.
Sir, what's your audit Hawaii, apart from the two, the senior ministers one and then that of Dumelovo? They him you now, who say, wait dear. Okay.
And American say, no. Mabonti into me come home some baby procurement audit no.
Okay.
Nanka a year but we live it there.
I mean, we saw a question way. Auditors will be here in this country.
Yeah.
If you say, rule in building this country, and they say, and are they allowed? I know you've said a lot. So even the second part will not be too important, but I still have to ask you. Auditors rule. And the first will be to be a boy.
Yeah. And say
Disappear.
as it has and as what they call public financial management. There is always audit. Now audit now. And yet public financial management in private sector say wa war accountant or to two but branch say you appoint another accountant who comes as an auditor now on be say the kwan or dey usika sem fast no ne kwan mu ana say yen ne kwan mu. So that is the role that the auditors they play in the public sector. Now say auditors betimi anya akukudro ayo adwuma say the city a ngebeboa oman pa because mpembebre no obi anim say auditor there obeba obehu na wehu ewie no ne nsunsun so ebi obekata so ebi nsusu a obeyi wama eno na akoba say mpembebre na amanfo entumi emfa omotinye because of the executive influence now will come. Because some fear for their jobs. They say, me my friend say come back. And I do so and so. When I was Auditor General, I was always giving assurance to my staff. Say, in the course of your audit, remember, I'm with you when you are auditing. As long as you are doing the right thing, I'm with you. And if you run into trouble, I'll be in front of you until they finish me. You are safe. So don't worry. I will take all the bullets. Now, anywho, say, I take all the credit for the work that they do. So I must also take the debit as well.
That's right.
So I'm ready to die for them. So Mikai said there was a day where Penyikese B. Ephraim said he wanted to know who exactly did a particular type of audit. Let me say, Mia. No, so you are the Auditor General, but the team which went on the field, let me say, kind constitutional. So the audit shall be done by the Auditor General. So whatever the person did is not important. The person is not important. He was acting on my behalf. I take all the credit. So I'm ready to take the debit. And so if you have any blow, throw it at me. I say, Daniel, how you do? That's nothing. So among for the problem we have in our country is Abayajuma in particular. They've taken their work to be like the end of their life. If they lose their work, then their life comes to there's nothing they can do. So people are not ready to stand for the truth. That's what I'll be telling people, that look, the reason why we don't have professionalism in accounting, professionalism in auditing, is because people are afraid of losing their jobs.
How?
If people did not care about losing their job like I am, yes, because we go can who now almost Nikajiro almost say yes, yeah, Saturn now there was news all over that we will sack him like the way we sack Charlotte or say. And I say, who say I care? I don't care. Even if they sack me and I have nothing doing. My father was a farmer in a farm place and the land is there. I'll go and till the land and use it to support the country.
That's right.
So I have things to do with myself. But professionals have become so fearful of losing their positions to the extent say we've compromised profession. You are cuckoo down for be or memoir and come back to me aye jumama or may see ye.
You audited snakes.
Yeah.
Join Aduku first time.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't remember the details. Only if you had was there any problem?
No. I'm told he called you to come and audit him because he wanted to leave.
That man is an exceptional man. He's a different caliber of public servant.
Who? Aduku?
Yes. He extended his hand to me, say, look, I want my period to be audited before I leave. I said, I'm on one audit, you will audit. He's one of the strange public servants that I've come across. And the audit was done. So I don't remember the details, but I remember very well. We met at a certain function and he said it first. I thought he was joking. And he followed up. So further to our discussion, I want you to audit my period before I exit. So that if there are issues that I must answer, I answer them now. Instead of later on when I'm at home. And I must say, I must commend him. He's one of the people who I found very exceptional in Ghana. So I'm bold enough to say, police from Rambas HMV. The winner be a monk and Jeremy. I thought it was something to be commended, and I have a lot of respect for him. He actually did that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it true, sir, public servants in this room? Especially the time and now we auditor general.
No,
There be me cutting come Jubilee House.
Yes, sir.
Say, you see a board meeting. I say, could I be a phones?
I see. Sir.
Because I say, the woman. I don't know. I mean, like we had to make just say 1 million, 200,000. No one can say what jai.
Yeah. And my main story being now, Madam Fubi, he was Minister of Finance, meant to be money position. Now he didn't come over and can say, Fadi call this place now or more and Shamao. No, we come on funny tiany. Another time you raise the issue, why don't you send it there? I told you the last time. When filming. Third time, stop wasting my time. I've told you what I say. Do you know what it costs to go there, Daniel? Hey, he said, ask Minister of Finance. I said, who? He said, but I've gone there several times. Obianka can ask someone to me that. I said, but who in his normal sense will ask money from me?
Who in normal sense will ask money from
even just about 2 weeks ago, I was there. Nobody asked me for money. Daniel, you who? Yes. So I don't mean to say they think the right thing must be done, and that is one of the key things of auditing in the public sector. What we call deterrence. There must be deterrence. Maka and Pebebre said the reason why an NTR corruption as into Ghana and say usually there are no consequences. If you think you can get away with it, why not try it? But if you know you can't get away with it, you don't. No one for Bebre I don't know as a sum Baku Nihomum or Wakababy. But He came and picked me from my house, and we came to the airport. He gave the key to the driver to send his car home. We flew to Heathrow Airport, and the sister came and met us and said she was going somewhere. So he gave the key back to him to drive us to the house where we were at the hotel we were going to. Tia called him, Fred, besides, Nana, what has changed? I said, I don't know why. He said, the way you are driving this morning is very different from the way you were driving yesterday. What has changed? No, you're even smiling at pedestrians. Only you are smiling, giving them away. But in Ghana, almost them welcome by the 20. So what has changed? You know, the system.
The system.
What is the system? I said, yes, the system here doesn't tolerate anybody. And what about Ghana? I said, oh, here they say, well, road down, do you know me? And say, oh, okay, sir, go. I said, but we can try it here. I said, what will crack here? You tried, you know me here. So the system that we have built are not good. I agree very well with Obama when he said we don't need strong members, we need strong systems. Except that he has forgotten that the systems, they don't grow on the field like the grasses grow. It's men who put it there. Right. So we need strong men to build systems. What he inherited in America was built by others before he came. What they are in Britain, any developed economy, if you take them, you see somebody came and put systems in place. So we need people who are bold to defend the right thing and put systems in place.
Finally, what one thing, Nasanka, what you Auditor General, can you want to change? Or even if you have the power, can you change about auditing in this country?
Well, I will not have too much to say about the place except to resource it enough to extend the audit. Because when we say we have audited the government, we just say we have gone everywhere. No, we do what we call risk-based auditing. We look at where we think the risk is high. So there are some institutions, they go for years unaudited. Because schools are all Ghana, hospitals are all Ghana. It's difficult. So we look at the risk base, say, Kolebu, more money. Okay, then let's go to Kolebu. Or here. So that's what we call the risk base. Okay. But at times, with the Audi say there's no risk. Exactly. So resourcing them to undertake more of the assignment, I think, is necessary. And the last thing I would like to say is that government should desist from creating institutions when others are failing. Okay. See, especially in the fight against corruption. The Auditor General's office is there. Even the CID has a unit that also follow people for committing offenses that in that regard. We have SHRAT created by the Constitution. We have Office of the YOCO, Economic and Organized Crime Unit. And now we have OSP. After this, what do we do? We'll create another one.
Definitely.
We keep creating and we're not getting the results. Captain Smart train him, resource him, and fire him.
That's it.
But we cannot say, Captain, the papa we have a cano, or I say, okay, bring the third one. Or say, bring the fourth one. Let me say why I'm against that approach. Corruption, just as wasteful expenditure, denying the citizenry the benefit of public funds. It's not only corruption, wasteful spending. Wasteful spending. Buying SSK unnecessarily. Look at the cost of establishing OSP. That's the head office. If they are supposed to roll it out throughout the country.
Hey,
because they have to work in the regions and the districts. So why didn't you look at it and say, oh, okay, we already have institutions. Why don't we put this mandate in the hands of YOCO? YOCO already have regions and district offices. So it will not require additional structures and etc. So if there's even additional cost, it will be very marginal. So we must think about this country well, and if we want to get something done, whoever has the mandate to do it, let's assess him. If he's not competent, remove him. Bring the right person, resource the person, instead of creating what in South Africa they call fruitless and wasteful expenditure. Fruitless and wasteful expenditure. That's what we are good at doing. Fruitless and wasteful. I saw the did was in Ghana.
I don't. Pentecost cried into me.
Now, about me, the Roman Catholic.
Into me. Methodist, Apostolic Assemblies of God.
So our priority is that who, when our children are studying under mango trees and in dilapidated buildings, today's day and age, people are drinking from ponds where animals are also drinking. Our women are still being given birth on the floor. You go to our hospitals, they are eyesore, and that is the priority we have. That's why I like that expression. The first time I came across it, I said, this is good. Fruitless and wasteful expenditure. It must be avoided in this country.
Are you still on leave or you have your sack letter?
My sack letter. Didn't you see it on the 3rd of March?
I'm only asking. That's why
I have my sack letter. Yes.
You have your sack letter?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, be a tree amount.
There be,
I won't try.
I'm going to have 2 installments so still, and you have both. First one, I'm going to try grand. What happened was that by God's intervention, miraculously, almost releases come from finance to accountant general.
Okay.
And accountant general, between accountant general and auditor general, they say they don't know my bank account, so they don't even know me, how to contact me. It is kind of 2021. The money must be sent back into the reserve.
That's right.
So auditor general send the money back to treasury. Because also need my bank account number. Now Ecoban is saying last year, and now me call from Public Service Commission. And I'm saying me difference is the difference of what? And also my retirement benefits. No. I'm saying now in the original difference then I come by. I should give them my bank account. Let me say, I'm very wary about money laundering and etc. And I don't just give my bank account. So, Mr. Bedu say, give me the evidence. So, if I see the source and it's genuine, then I'll give you my details. So then she forwarded a copy of a letter from Minister of Finance, paying the difference.
But not the principal.
The difference. Let me say, So then now I gave them my details and they paid. Then I said, I wrote them to say, now principal and also accountant general and auditor general. Me now move up as so because it was some accountant general for 80 years. And the current auditor general was my deputy throughout. They could not contact me to say that, look, I remember I was being paid as auditor general. And I'm informed my bank account detail assessor. At least a phone call to just say that are you still using the bank account? So
it's
that's
Abandonka. Yeah, me that say. Yeah, me shall pass. Your tons suffer or buy. Yami, I'm much now. You never see antechi the bonkomo. China, you never see antechi. Ebe bonkomo. Me who say videos meaning nam weekend ya say obiya worry we be already 63 years. Worry abaya wedding few do me no. Sa some say saying. Yami ya duma.
I was here for Madam Assessor Motimi Adtrain na Mashe a year interviewee ability summary. PENDREAM TV so and Mugusu at Moshe no na mestre say Ubabom modern na was subscribe to the channel no Eddie Amame. O subscribe here now I like video no so Eddie Amame. Obusia Ghana ye problem and yes ye to me enye anase ye ho nso Ghana ye problem nyina na say we are failed say ye behwe na ye de emra aye adwuma abusia ye wonyoma enketinketi bi wo hono mu a say Ghana fo say ye nyina ye bekan ho abum ye bedi no kure e de ama oman no na ya make sure say oman no ho behia ye na chen bia a chen your personal interest Ghana okay be yi Obusia, look at this man Otuhui, very professional person, very intelligent person, very dedicated and committed person, but unfortunately Omanya Yetimuno yɛhia nkurɔfoɔ bi sei yɛmpɛ nkurɔfoɔ bi sei ɔman a yɛti mu no nkurɔfoɔ bi sei ɛnsene mu de biara nkurɔfoɔ bi sei ne yɛpɛ sɛ yɛfa kwati kwan bi so ɛsɛe wɔn ɛtutu kyɛ sɛ wodwene ho a wonte aseɛ abusuafoɔ wodwene ho a wonte aseɛ ɛnyɔma bi a kɛwɔ sɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛbi yɛnya leaders bi ɔbɛtumi aka sɛ look it is high time say yɛde nyɔma nyina gu nkyɛn yɛde yɛ personal interest gu nkyɛn favoritism yɛmfa nto nkyɛn na yɛnhwɛ na yɛnyɛ ɔman no yie for daakye mma na sɛ for prosperity sake for prosperity sake anaa mɛka sɛ prosperity sorry for prosperity sake yɛnyɛ ɔman no nto hɔ yɛnyina yɛmmoa yɛnhyehyɛ ɔman no na yɛmfa nto hɔ sɛ daakye bi nti kyina bi nti yɛbɛba bɛbɔ yɛdi mpo aka sɛ yɛn na yɛdi saa ɛfɛn sɛ yɛbɔ kwan wei to hɔ ma ɔman no ɛtumi nya baabi gyinaeɛ ma sɛbio sɛ nnipa bi wɔ ɔman no mu a yɛnkyiri ma so abɛnya so mfa so saa berɛ no ɛna mehwehwɛ sɛ ɛnka yɛbɛnya saa nkurɔfoɔ no bi na nka going forward no nka ɔman yi yɛatumi afa yɛn ntoma pa afira I'm hoping sɛ saa video yi a astarte a trendy mesrɛ abusuafoɔ a mahwɛ mo share video yi na ɔmanpanyin John Dramani Mahama nso enya bi nhwɛ ɛna nyame ayɛ adom a yɛde Ghana akɔhyɛ ne nsan abusuafoɔ yɛnyina yɛgye papa yi di ɔmanpanyin Mahama yɛgye ne di ɛnminim sɛ papa no ɔwɔ pepa ɔwɔ dɔ n'ani ɛda so sɛ ɔman Ghana ɔbɛyɛ apto hɔ nom ɔbɛmaki sure sɛ ɔman Ghana bɛfa ne ntoma pa afira the fact mpo sɛ wɔkɔfa papa yi ɛka ɛyɛ the oral team ho krampo no kyerɛ sɛ ɔgye papa ne di na ɔgye nimdeɛ wɔ ne tirim ne di abusua. These are some of the people we will need them around President John Dramani Mahama. These are some of the people. Ebre ewie do say politics no yemfa nto ho kakra, favoritism no yemfa nto ho kakra. Me party abaso nti me susu me be disika me be nya sika me be wuram na contract unnecessary offense awarding of contract to unprofessionals to unqualified people ne ho nyoma ebre aso abusua Ghana eyo man o my nwiri yen nko aye ho ne. We should think about our generation yet unborn. Let's think about our generation yet unborn. And then yachichiro man na mana kodru baabi a aban djuma heni bia politician bia oba ya pe kwan a opɛ so ofa so ane se chale ohwe na ode ne yere ne makogu abrochiri safe place bia ba me yere ne me ma me de omokɔ safe place adentira because yankasa yachichiro man in a way that ye ni oman mu gidie biem oman mu gidie no ye ni biem. So all politicians asikafo krom ha, government workers, private workers, obi anyanya skape o say me de me yire ne me ma kogu abrochire, me de me yire ne me ma mabusuafo me pia o ma kogu abrochire adentira oman no yahyehyɛ no in a way that yankasa no yaye nim say the foundation of the country is shaky. Enye de papa enti enyo man a obetimi de ho ato so say sa systems ya build foundation ya wo oman nim no metimi de me ho ato so ama sabio daachi bi memma ebenya so mfaso dabi na se achichiro oman se ya abusua ebeye den no man na yeyi oman peyini John Dramani Mahama this time Buagana fa ho ba for de ma oman yi menimpa sa wo saa opepa no wo saa odo no wakoma mu ye na wo oman no ho do chen bibia. Do this for this country, cause en somewhere papa yi eken eya no kure do sase ye kase ye be sa anyomo wi a Ghana ebesesa prekope abusia omayi na enka we humomu na yenji Ghana ensi ho yensi Ghana pan sa wote America wo Europe wo hinfa Asia wo hinfa any African country, wherever you are or wherever you find yourself, you'll be proud. Anywhere Ghana will be mentioned, you'll be proud, and you'll be proud to saying to always be telling people, say, oh, me a Ghanaian, who be proud. A PENDREAM TV message so because I subscribe to the channel na wa like video no amame share to other platforms so enya bi ehwe PENDREAM TV ese edam yopo
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.